the best way or the correct way of writing a thesis. Okay, you will be having your main index as well. Okay, you will be having your initial index and your initial pages, which the university will give you. Okay, so whenever you start a chapter, we always have this particular fonting requirement. Okay, main heading will be 16 font size, subheadings will be 14 font size, and main text will be 12 font size. Okay, alignment justified, line spacing 1.5. This is what we have to maintain throughout. Okay, so for any chapter that you start, if you give a quick index before the chapter, it helps us to enhance the overall look of our thesis. So because when we go ahead with our Viva, we have markings for both. We have separate markings for thesis and separate markings for Viva. Okay, so let's not lose marks on our thesis.
Ma'am, we have Viva. I mean, I wasn't aware of it. We have Viva on this.
I think the university would be the right person to
Okay, because
tell
I
you.
am
Yeah.
promoted.
Okay. University will be the right person to tell you, but majorly at multiple places, it's like that. You have the thesis and the Viva. Okay, fine. Then for chapter 1, your numbering should be 1.1, 1.2, and so on. For chapter 2, numbering will be 2.1, 2.2, and so on. Chapter 3, 3.1, 3.2, and so on. Okay, this is the technicalities of writing the thesis. Okay, whenever you are adding up any informative stuff, okay, for example, I'll show you. And do not forget to add research gap in your review of literature chapter. Okay, it is one of the very important components, research gap, which you need to mandatorily add in your literature review chapter. Have you all made your literature review chapter, or is it still in progress?
So, ma'am, it's in progress. Mine is in.
Still in
Okay,
progress.
in progress.
Yeah.
Okay, towards the end, research gap is written in a simple paragraph. What is the research gap? It is nothing but how your topic is unique, is what you're saying. Okay, for example, after studying the relevant literature, you came across so many topics, but still there is a gap that nobody has done or studied this particular phenomena from the viewpoint that this particular research topic is giving. That is the research gap. For example, self-learning was used. For example, this thesis is on self-learning. Okay, so my research gap was self-learning was studied majorly for hobbies, okay, and for non-academic stuff, especially in the city of Mumbai. But I did it on the students in the city of Mumbai and only on post-graduation students. Okay, so this is the uniqueness of my study. Okay, what is the gap that you are trying to fill in? Okay, so gap is usually written in just one paragraph. Okay, and one of the major rules of writing a research report, always and always write it in third person. Okay, you wherever you want to address yourself, you will say the researcher. Don't say I did this, I suggest this, I conclude this. Okay, I did the literature review. No, it is always written in third person. Okay, even if you say for example, you want to refer to your sample, you have to call them respondents. Okay, the respondent said this, always give a third name. So you become the researcher. Wherever you want to address your own self, you become the researcher. These are some technicalities. Okay, now for example, this is a timeline. Okay, whenever you have any information bearing content, picture or table or graph, always give it a number. For example, this is the first table in my chapter 3. So I named it as table 3.1. Simple. Because wherever you have your original index, the initial index, below that you will have two more index. One is the list of tables and one will be the list of graphs. Okay. So wherever you have added tables, you can go back to that index and add up the tables. Okay. So for example, this table is about timeline of the history of information and communication technology. This I read and made it by myself. Okay. Always remember, any information bearing chart or table should mandatorily have a source. Source is of font size 10. Source is of font size 10. Now I made this through multiple readings. Okay. So what I did, I wrote my initials A.S. Okay. My name is Ashwini Shejwal. So I wrote my initials. I made this thesis in 2020 and I gave it a topic. If it is you who is the creator of that table or graph in that particular thesis, give your name, initials, the year and the title. Do not leave any table or graph without a source. Never. Any information given content shouldn't be without a source. This is one of the major rules. So while you're building up your thesis, keep these things in mind. Okay. Okay, now here I have simply put up some textual content. So here no need to put table, name, number and source. Okay. See again here, I picked up some data, okay, which talk about commonly or preferred website and application for self-learning. I gave a source. Anything that is information bearing, I have to give a header, sorry, a table number, a table name and the source. Now here again, I have basic headers or basic text. So I haven't given any table number or source. Now I'll show you the data analysis chapter, how it will look. Okay, so before the chapter, it is always my habit to give a short index, okay, as to what all topics, what all things are there in that chapter. Okay, first I gave a basic overview of the chapter, okay, what happens in this chapter. Then now, whenever we are converting the data in our Google form that we collected, you all are using Google form, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yes.
using Google form, right?
Yes.
Okay. Many people, what they do, they simply take a screenshot from the response tab and they paste it. Okay. I would motivate you all to not do so. There is a reason. Okay. Number one, a lot of times the labels in the chart are absent. Okay. Now, for example, this bar chart is made by me in Excel. Okay. When I am making, I put a label. Okay, looking at this chart itself, it becomes very understood that male are 44%, female are 56%. Why? Because I added labels. Now, what happens in Google Charts? Whenever you have a very small amount of response to a particular option, the labels are missing. Okay, the labels go missing. That is the reason never ever take screenshots. Simply take your entire data that you collected in Excel. Okay, create the table. From the table, you can make the chart. We will do this in our subsequent sessions. How to convert a particular data into table. Okay, and how do I convert it into chart further? A lot of you might already be using Excel and pivot tables. Okay, they might very well know how to use pivot tables for this, but still I will run this in the class once and we can have a hands-on working so that you all get used to this. Okay.
Ma'am, this questionnaire which I have sent you, for example, you'll give me how much time will I have to collect that data? I mean, if you see my topic and everything, I have sent you. Generally asking you because then you will give hands on the on our data, so that will be more clarity to us. I mean, this is what I feel. Because if we take some other data practice, so that there will be a problem. This is what I'm feeling like. I want my data. I mean, this is what I am thinking. While putting while giving us a hands-on, we should have the data with us.
Okay. So see, for this I have two call it solutions or perspectives. Okay. Number one, if I go by students' data, okay, by your data, you will take quite a time to collect data. Okay. It means I will have to wait for all to have collected their data and then come up with a session.
No, no, I'm not
Okay.
telling you that. I'm telling you that the data which you are doing. So this is
Hmm.
what I am feeling for my data, because that
Hmm.
will be, if I will make a mistake, I will understand that is in my data.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
know. I mean, this is what I was going through it
Check.
when I was thinking it.
I have a data set already with me, a huge data set with me, which I'll be sharing with you all. Okay.
Okay,
Which I will be using in the class to do some hands-on working.
okay,
Okay. So that can be one that is majorly the second option is usually the one that I use because
okay.
it usually happens not all students might have collected data by the time I
Yes,
deliver that session.
that's the reason. And if I make a mistake, for example, in your data, it will be like a exam practice only. I mean, you are giving your solution, then I will put my paper. That
But
is
you know
fine.
what? Once you do a trial on some practice data set, it
Hmm.
makes you even more perfect when you do it actually on your own data set.
Okay, this will also do. I mean, if I get something, then that will also do.
Yes, yes. I'll give you the data. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah. So mandatorily add tables and charts both in data analysis and interpretation. Okay. Add both table and chart. There are two benefits. Number one, that it looks presentable. Okay. Number two is if you ever have the pages, if you ever have that requirement of certain amount of pages in your thesis, so it helps you to lengthen up your thesis. These are two benefits. Now the pages number varies from university to university, but ultimately the overall look of your thesis looks wonderful if you add both tables and charts. So the rule of numbering, if you see, for the table I named it as table 4.1.1. For the figure I just named it figure, but the number is same 4.1.1 because it is representing the same table. And if you see the naming, it is again the same. Source I have mentioned compiled from primary data. Okay. When you're doing the interpretations, please listen very carefully. Interpretations are always written in present tense. Always in present tense. Because even after 10 years, somebody is reading your thesis, they will be seeing the table and chart there and there at a future date. So they will also be reading in present tense on a future date. Correct? Okay. So if you see table 4.1.1 and figure 4.1.1 shows that 44% of the respondents are male and 56% of the respondents are female. Thus, it is interpreted that majority of the respondents are female. Simple. Use the percentage. Don't go by numbers. Okay. What many people do, they interpret it as out of 311 respondents, 138 respondents were males and 173 respondents were females. Don't do it like that, please. Percentage makes more sense. I'll tell you why. Okay, if I say I got 50%, automatically you have that thought that I got 50% out of 100. But if I say I got 48 marks, will you not ask 48 out of how many? Okay, so the reader is not going to revisit your total number of respondents every now and then. That is the reason mandatorily percentage column in your table, mandatory percentage label in your chart, and mandatory interpretation on the basis of percentage. And one concluding statement about who has the majority. Why I'm telling you to give a concluding statement? When you're summarizing your findings, These concluding statements become your findings. So your next chapter's half job is done. When you go for finding, conclusion, suggestion, your findings are sorted if you have your concluding statements in your data analysis. Are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Similarly, go ahead, but make it look like a topic. Okay. For example, I had only asked educational qualification. But see, how did I give it a title? Education qualification wise distribution of the respondents. Okay, nowhere have I bluntly just written only gender or only educational qualification. An interpretation to be written in present tense. Entire thesis to be written in third person. Clear? Any doubts with this?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, can you share this once? I mean, if possible.
Wait, I'll put it in the chat box. I'll also put the PPT. I'll also put the questionnaire. And I will also put this. So that whenever you are making a thesis, you can have a